Both in the 231s, the first driver to put any lap in the 231. So forward trouble. Oh, what a crash! What a terrible crash!
Up and over, car flipped. Came back, up and over. Oh.
That was a hard hit.
Front end of one car cut away. We'll keep an eye and we won't report anything until we actually have it confirmed.
You can see as we look at this second replay how many tires and suspension pieces began to come off the cars right away and affect cars that really were not part of the original accident at all. Lindsay
goes around the slower traffic of Sarah Fisher. Jack, what's going on?
Well,
oh no, another crash and it's upside down. We've got a car upside down. It's Marco Andretti. Two cars at least involved in this. Buddy Rice as well. Buddy was taken out last year in a crash with Elio. This year a crash with Marco.
In the pit lane, being repaired. Now here we go now. He's cutting across, just touches Dan Weldon's car. That's on the right-hand side. Breaks Dan Weldon's left front suspension. Dan Weldon goes off to the left-hand side.
And it looks like Frankitti's strategy as you take a look from Marco. And you see from his onboard.
Whoa, up and over. And as you said, Rusty, good reason to get out of the car very slowly.
Oh, the pole sitter doesn't get going. Oh!
There is not a worse place to stall than at the start of a race.
The car on your left-hand side will not get off the grid.
He didn't even move.
Saavedra. Everybody else is starting to go around him. Now the car coming from the back doesn't see him. And that first car that hits him is Carlos Munoz. And then from then on, the debris is flying.
Only seconds behind Kenny Breck in turn one. Breck crashed coming out of the turn. Mario came up on the accident while running at 220 miles an hour. And he hit some debris. And then he held on. He rode out one spectacular crash.
It's a bummer, you know, he's just no one's fault, you know, it's just victim of circumstances, so it was a real shame.
He almost seems bulletproof, all the things he's been through, and to walk away from this is just remarkable, especially when you see him flip it through the air 3-4 times.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see it yet, but obviously looking at the car and looking at what happened, I think it's pretty bad, but you know, yeah, you know, thank God he didn't hit anything real hard, you know, so that's the main thing, and he's walking and everything's fine.
Backstretch they go. Oh, crash, crash. Turn two, we got a crash. Kurt Busch made contact with the wall. Tire bouncing down the backstretch. Crash, turn two, coming up out of the dash. Kurt Busch, replay. Boy, that was a hit. That was a hit. And again, he climbed out of the car. He's okay. Great job by the other drivers getting around to the flying debris.
Out of Hempstead, Texas, and he was the fueler. Oh, trouble on the track, guys.
A huge crash on the track here at Indianapolis.
Crash a couple of years ago when he rode up and over Ryan Hunter-Reay. So the car hit the wall, comes out, and then you see the Verizon machine of Will Power just slice underneath it a little bit. And for Conway, he's riding up on the top of the wall, Eddie, and luckily the car comes back down, as we call it, on all four, obviously wheels missing, but a ride that Mike Conway certainly does not want to take and probably relived a little bit of what happened to him 2 years ago.
And we want to remind everybody watching this horrific accident that turned out with no drivers getting hurt, that these are brand new cars that have been engineered to make sure they are much safer in impacts like this, and it did everything it was expected to do.
And that car is certainly destroyed, but you can see Mike moving inside the car. He's going on the inside of Ryan Hunter-Reay. This reminds me almost of Dan Weldon's crash here in turn 3 and 4 quite a few years ago. And the car is up into the fence, which is almost reminiscent of Kenny Brack's accident at Texas quite a few years ago, guys. Very, very lucky.
You know, he was incredibly lucky that he did not go head into that fence. That is a horrible impact. Wow. All right, let's go.
Careful of traffic. He's got to get around the lap. Traffic. 100 years. No! He hit the wall. Just like Thomas Shaker. Keep your foot on the gas. Dan Weldon is going to win the race.
Yeah, Dan!
That is unbelievable. Oh my goodness.
Weldon, after finishing second the last 2 years, wins when J.R. Hildebrand hits the wall coming out of 4, just as Scheckter did